watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
We begin with breaking news. A SIG alert has been issued on the 5 near Camp Pendleton after a fatal crash. This happened after midnight on the southbound side, south of Basilone Road, and you can see how backed up the traffic is right now.
Yeah, so slow moving. Caltrans saying the left lanes are still blocked. But this SIG alert anticipated to last until 10 this morning. We know that is a busy commute for so many people.
Thanks for being here at 6 a.m., everyone. I'm Eric Connard.
And I'm Netta Iranpour. So we want to start with that this morning. Vanessa Paz joining us to talk more about this SIG alert. I mean, that's the only route, right, from Orange County, from LA coming here?
If you're north of that, you could opt for the 74. Okay. Sometimes my mom takes that. She lives in the Riverside area, but you have to go through mountains. And again, we're dealing with some soggy roads, so I would not advise doing that. I would just leave time for travel, as we just showed you that live shot. It is a parking lot. Now, I know this is a lot more north of where most of our residents live, but this is a good reminder for anyone traveling inbound from Orange or LA counties. In fact, as we go ahead and zoom on in to where we're looking at the activity, slowing and stretching about 3 miles or so, but as we take a look at speeds, we're down to about 11, 13 miles per hour. Again, it's just right as you get towards or in from Orange County, that borderline. Again, as we take a look, when I mentioned you can opt for alternate routes, I'm talking about the 74 right there, but a lot of twists and turns, curves through that area. So I would just advise that you do take the 5 and just pack your patience as you head out the door. All right, let's go ahead and give you a wider view of what else is happening closer to the metro area. No major crashes nor delays. Some of the roads are wet out there, so just keep that in mind as you head out the door. You could encounter some ponding this morning. We'll take a look at your travel times as we get your Monday going a little later in about 7 to 8 minutes or so. All right, 6:01 is the time. Let's go ahead and switch gears and take a look at your satellite and radar composite. I do have a pretty nice cell moving in the North County right now. In fact, as I go ahead and zoom on in, you can see that we're seeing some moderate to heavy rain pushing into close to where that crash is actually occurring, just south of that as you make your way inbound towards Oceanside, right along the 5 freeway. So yeah, today is not the time to wait until the last minute to head out the door, getting where you got to go. Although we're dry in some areas, you could encounter downpours depending on where you're traveling. All right, here's a live look outside as we take a quick look towards the coastal areas. The sun yet to fully light up the sky here. We'll do so in about 30 minutes or so. Quick look at current temperatures. We'll talk more about the chance for rain where you live as we get toward the start of fall happening at 11:19. Back to you guys.
Vanessa, thank you. New this morning, a 4.3 magnitude earthquake struck Berkeley just before 3 this morning. The quake woke people up in the San Francisco area. More than 21,000 responding to the USGS's Did You Feel It survey within an hour of the first report. People posted online that they felt their homes are shaken. So far, there are no reports of any damage or injuries.
And now this traffic alert, a major off-ramp closure could send you into Mexico if you're not paying attention.
Yeah, the I-5 Camino de la Plaza off-ramp, known as the last U.S. exit, will be closed for the next 2 days. CBS 8's Chris Groh live near the border now with details on when this closure is going to take effect here. Chris?
Yeah, good morning. And if you're not careful later on tonight, you could end up going through border checkpoints if you go past it, because again, this will not be something that will be open starting at 9 p.m. So that is the time in which this closure will go into effect. So we want to make sure that we are giving you right now this heads up so that you have that at the top of your mind as you go through your morning and daily routine. Now, what we are going to see happen, of course, is the Camino de la Plaza off-ramp will be closed. There will be a detour just before you get into the border checkpoint. So what you are going to want to do is actually exit at Via de San Isidro Boulevard, make a right, then turn left onto Calle Primera, and continue towards Camino de la Plaza off of Willow Road. Now, of course, a lot of people use Camino de la Plaza not just to get to, of course, the outlets, but to use the pedestrian bridge and some of the businesses here, the pedestrian crossing, I should say. So it is a pretty busy exit, even though it is the last one before you enter Mexico. Technically, you can make a U-turn on the far left lane to avoid crossing over, but that is a last resort. Caltrans says that they are going to have warnings, they are going to have signs put in place, notices about the detours. We did speak with some of the residents who live on Willow Road to ask them about what will likely be an increase in traffic and noise and construction. Here's what they had to say.
Day, especially during school time hours. So that's basically when the most traffic. Sometimes when people are going to Mexico, also, before it's 9 o'clock at night. After that, it lightens up.
I'm pretty sure that time would be perfect for us since it would be very light, and there won't be that much traffic at that time.
Now, again, the good news is that a lot of this is going to be happening overnight in terms of construction for those who live in and around the freeway. As for what's actually going to be happening, they're going to be putting in some new piping, doing some infrastructure improvements there on the 5, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Put that in your calendar right now. Eric and Netta.
Okay, Chris, thank you very much for that warning. Today, the new Terminal 1 at San Diego International Airport will start welcoming flights. The first one expected to arrive at 8:55 p.m. 15 minutes later, the old Terminal 1 will say goodbye to its last flight, marking its closure. Airport officials say the new Terminal 1 is more spacious, has more concessions, and offers more security checkpoints. It officially opens up tomorrow. So yeah, if you have a flight booked, hey, you get to check it all out. This morning, business owners on 3rd Avenue in Chula Vista, they're now pushing to bring back the COVID-era outdoor seating.
CBS 8's Alex Cheney reports those businesses feel they've been put at a disadvantage since the so-called parklets went away last year.
More tables, more business, more traffic, more exposure.
Mariana is the owner of Balboa Bar and Grill on 3rd Avenue in downtown Chula Vista. She says the parklets, or curb cafes, were popular during COVID and should come back to boost business and energy downtown.
Definitely more energy, more vibe. People love to be outside. We have the perfect weather for it, so families definitely enjoy it.
Circulate San Diego hosted the Park-ing Day event in front of El Cholo's Kid on 3rd Avenue. The owner says Chula Vista businesses had to tear down their parklets last September, putting them at a disadvantage compared to other cities that were allowed to keep them.
When we look at communities that were able to keep their parklets, Little Italy, even everything going on downtown, it's much more lively, and it's a better for all the businesses in the community, I think.
The Downtown Chula Vista Business Association says the city council still needs to take up an ordinance to allow businesses to build out their parklets again, like other cities in San Diego.
So it's not so much enjoying the beautiful weather we have, but it's also increasing the capacity of these businesses so they can recover from COVID and they can be successful.
Business owners on 3rd Avenue excited to maybe have their parklets back.
The community responded really well when we had them, so I'm excited to actually have them back.
Alex Cheney, CBS 8.
The city of Chula Vista was supposed to have a plan for the ordinance 120 days after the parklets went away. Now the Downtown Business Association says the parklets may not come back until the spring.
Here we are looking at 6:08 time right now. Let's check in with Vanessa. The rain coming through. And yeah, you showed us earlier, unfortunately, right where that crash, that SIG alert was on the 5.
At least they're going slow.
Yeah,
right.
We just got word from our photographer, Julio, who's actually there at the scene. He said that it's not really coming down. So there is a pocket of dry conditions, and that's likely where he is kind of hanging out. But just north of that is where we're seeing a downpour. So right along the 5 freeway. Let's go ahead and showcase that with our satellite and radar composite as we zoom on in. Our 5 Doppler radars that we have going here doing a really nice job highlighting where we're seeing some of the heaviest activity. Light to moderate rain currently falling just south of Laguna Niguel, right along the 5 and parts of the 74. That's where we're seeing some of the heaviest rain currently just south of that. A little more southward in the South Bay right now from the 5 stretching all the way to the 805. We're also getting some light to moderate rain as well. So again, we are dry depending on where you are. If you're waking up, let's say towards downtown San Diego, parts of OB and in PB, fairly dry, but you move a little more southward and we're tracking some light rain. Overall, the totals have been unimpressive. We collected over about just over 2/10 or so in Palomar Mountain over the past 48 hours. Again, we got a lot more rain in terms of the previous system last week, but this one's been fairly light so far in terms of numbers. A few hundredths of an inch meanwhile for Fashion Valley, Escondido, and San Diego International Airport. All right, the sun gradually starting to light up the sky here. Will fully rise skies in about 10-15 minutes or so. This is a live look from one of our Mount Woodson sky cams out in the Poway area. Temperatures right now are trending a little warmer than 24 hours ago, about 6 degrees warmer currently in Ramona, but still one of the coolest spots of the entire region, especially from the coast all the way towards the inland valleys. We're in the high 60s along the coast, as well as the inland communities of 65 right now in Escondido, 64 out in Fallbrook. All right, I'm going to step out of the way. This is your hour-by-hour chance of rain for the coastal areas. Notice how it's quite high all the way through 9 o'clock, then starts to plummet as we get towards the 11 o'clock hour. And the time is 6:10 on your Monday morning. We are continuing to follow some breaking news in the North County following a fatal crash. We just learned about a few minutes ago that the person who died was a pedestrian. This was from officials. And we also just got word that the SIG alert will be impacting the 5 South right near this pocket near San Clemente all the way through about 8 a.m. Originally was set to expire at 10 a.m., but it looks like they're now expecting those lanes to open back up at 8 o'clock. So in just a couple of hours. We're still very slow and go. It is an absolute parking lot. So this is something to keep in mind. This is right where San Diego County meets Orange County. It's nothing. It's a parade of brake lights as you head southbound this morning. So just make sure that you're packing your patience, leaving time for travel if you are headed southbound out of those areas. All right, Encinitas to Escondido. Let's go ahead and take a quick look closer to the metro area. If you're headed southbound this morning down to the top of the Golden Triangle, about 25 minutes or so under 15, headed in from Escondido down to that 163 merge. In full span of the 78 will take you about 15 minutes. Meanwhile, we're still on the green on the 94, the 8, as well as the 52. Anywhere between 5 to 7 minutes for you. And if you're traveling in from the South Bay northbound, anywhere between 9 to 15 minutes, headed northbound in from San Isidro as well as Chula Vista. Full span of the Coronado Bridge, we're seeing our fair share of brake tapping. It'll take you about 16 minutes to get across the bridge. Typically, we've seen this over the past couple of weeks. It is likely because of construction. There are no accidents reported on the CAT as of last check, and the speed's down to about 9 miles per hour or so. All right, 6:11 is the time. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at your border wait times. Over an hour to get you inbound from San Ysidro's port of entry, about an hour and a half as well coming in from Otay Mesa this morning. Netta.
Vanessa, thank you so much. And still ahead here, by a man accused of shooting at a news station, now facing federal charges.
Plus, what Charlie Kirk's widow said about the man accused of killing the conservative activist. And President Donald Trump calls to prosecute his political foes.